advocacy campaign Youth Capital is hosting a virtual launch of the short documentary I've Been Trying. And this is 8 years without a job. And the film was directed by Ehwoza's Sam Flans. The documentary film uncovers the real challenges that young people face on a daily basis in their journey to employment and many other accompanying problems due to unemployment. Now, the director of the documentary is Sam Flans, and he joins us now for a conversation. Sam, thanks for speaking to us this morning. Welcome to Morning Live. Sam, I don't know if you can hear me. If you can, welcome to Morning Live. Yeah, Sam seems to have frozen on us there. It's cold, so I'm not sure if it's got anything to do with freezing the equipment. But Sam, I believe you're back with us. We've unfrozen you there. You're thawing. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So, Sam, thanks for your time this morning. It's June 16th. It's Youth Day. How are you commemorating this day?
Today we are launching a film that we've made with youth about youth unemployment. So we'll be screening that today at Betha in Mowbray at 10. So we thought that it is good to make this film because we saw with the stats as well how youth unemployment rate it's like. So yeah, that's how I'm commemorating this day today.
I think this is a very important docu because we often, some of us who are no longer in the youth bracket can speak about it, but of course the lived reality remains with the youth. So what have the young people that you spoke to told you about their struggles in trying to find a job?
It first started with affordability, you know, struggling to get transport fare to go and apply for jobs, and also the money for data to be online, trying to always apply, but you don't get any response. Yeah, things like that. And some of the people are so worried because now they are about to reach 35 years old, you know. So they are scared that they could not get a chance to be employed.
And that's a very real fear because you would see that in some instances there are cut-off ages and employers looking for younger people to employ. So I saw, one of the people you may have interviewed has been without a job or trying to find a job for 8 years. Are you able to tell us a little bit more about that particular case study?
Yes, that's Nobis. She's from Kailicha at Site B. She told us that she has been trying to get a job for about 8 years now. Now, the only thing that she did to try and put something on the table, she always went to people who has small businesses around her neighborhood and try to do whatever that she can. So she would go back home with something to put on the table. And she's living with his father and with her father and her 2 kids. And the only way that she could bring something to the table, she would go to whoever who has a business and ask to do whatever that she could do so that she could have something to eat for the day.
Is she hopeful, though? Is she still hopeful that she could land a job sometime soon?
Yeah, I think she got a job now after we've interviewed her and also shared some links where she could apply. Because when I was organizing the screening for today, when I called her, she told me that she couldn't make it because she has a job.
And I mean, that's absolutely fabulous, a great end for her after 8 years. But some of the other young people you spoke to, Sam, how long have they been searching for jobs? And I'm also curious to find out, are there any people who have, since leaving school, been in the situation where they've simply not been able to find a job for a number of years?
Yes, it's quite long. It's that after the matric, and some they do go and further their studies, but some they drop out because they can't afford the fees, So it's just there, and then it goes straight to a decision of, okay, let me leave school now and try. And get a job so that maybe I can play a role in a family, because most of them they feel like they should be the breadwinners, but they as they are trying to get something a job to say, but they are failing as well. So it is like that for most of them.
And for those who haven't been able to find a job, for those who, unlike the previous case study, were unable to even find a peace job, how are they surviving?
They survive through the grants. It could be a pension from their families or the COVID-19 grants. So yeah. That's how they survive.
Sam, as I say, a very important documentary, this, because it highlights and brings to reality a plight that we've spoken about for a long time. But what are you ultimately hoping to achieve through this?
I'm hoping, now that it's been online since this morning, I hope that it could reach people with power, people with influence, and also the government as well. And then I'm hoping that they could try and make a change, and try to help those people, because the fact that I got 9 people in the documentary. How much more people that are unemployed and then are still struggling to find jobs, even if they give them some information, starting from how to prepare your CV, how to prepare for your interview, because that's the case in most of the time. It's not like you don't know, you don't have the qualities, but the fact that you didn't know how to structure your CV, and also you find it hard to answer some questions on the interview, So I'm hoping that after this documentary, there could be so much change. People would get jobs, Not all of the people would get jobs, but at least maybe 2 or 3, and then it will go like that as time goes by.
Now, Sam, you said that the documentary is online. You released it this morning. Where can we go to have a look?
For now, people can get it on YouTube in our account, which is Ehwoza. It's spelled like EHOOZA. EHOOZA. It's on, yeah.
So Ehwoza, and you of course have a screening in Cape Town as well today, I believe.
Yes, we have a screening at 10 in the Betha House in Mowbray.
And is it just going to be the screening, or are there other activities planned around that as well, Sam?
At 5, we do have an online launch, which people could get the link on my social media account at Sam Flans. And also later on at 8, we have a Twitter space. We'll screen the film and then have a conversation about it.
Well, Sam, looking forward to watching that, and of course, maybe at some point talk about it after we've seen it. But thanks so much for your time this morning. Sam Flans, Creative Director at Ehwoza in Khayelitsha in Cape Town, and he's produced a documentary looking at a case study, 9 of them, in fact, and this is of young people who have struggled to find a job. And as you were saying, one of the young ladies who had been looking for a job for 8 years has just landed a job. So we hope for the best for some of the others and all unemployed youth across the country.